All right, welcome to the Architect's Playbook for the XOOPS Page Builder. Look, if you're here, you're probably past the basics and ready to really get under the hood of this thing. And that's exactly what we're going to do. Dive deep into the core logic to unlock its full power and make you way more efficient.
Okay, so here's what we've got on tap. First up, we'll break down the core architecture, kind of like the DNA of the builder. Then we'll jump into advanced layouts, talk about dynamic theming, and cover how to move your pages around. And finally, we'll wrap up with the publishing workflow so everything you do is saved and goes live without a hitch.
All right, first section, core architecture. Let's really nail down the blueprint here. Everything in the builder boils down to a really simple hierarchy. You've got themes, which are like the frame of the house. Inside that frame, you have slots, which are the designated rooms. And then widgets? Well, those are the pieces of furniture you put in each room.
So let's talk about slots. This is probably the most important concept to really get. A theme isn't just about colors and fonts. It's the architect. It defines the structure using these things called slots. These are just named areas like head, page, or footer. It's like having fixed shelves built into a wall. You can't move the shelves, but you can decide what you put on them. And those things you put on them, those are the widgets. And boom, here it is in action. Take a look at the interface. That structure tree on the right, that's not just some random list. It's a live, one-to-one map of the theme's architecture. See those head, page, and sidebar slots? They're right there. Understanding this direct mapping is literally the key to mastering your page layouts.
Okay, section 2, advanced layout and visibility. So we've got the blueprint down. Now it's time to get into the nitty-gritty, the interior design. This is all about getting that pixel-perfect control over every single thing on your page. It's tempting to just look at the live preview in the middle, but for real control, ignore it for a second. This structure tree on the right, that is your single source of truth. It's the definitive map of your page, showing every slat and every widget inside it, all in perfect order. When you're building complex pages, this tree is your mission control. So if the structure tree is for the big picture, the macro level stuff, then the inspector down below is for all the fine-tuning. It's the micro level. Just click on any widget in the tree and bam, the inspector pops up with all its properties. This is where you get to dial in all the details, the text, the colors, you name it. And this is where that structure tree really becomes a beast. It's all about drag and drop. You've got two main moves. Grab the little 6-dot handle to reorder widgets inside the same slot. Or, and this is the really cool part, just drag a widget from one slot to a completely different one. You can totally restructure your page on the fly. It's super fast, super intuitive, just incredibly powerful.
Now, let's talk responsive design. The real magic isn't just that it works on mobile, it's that you can tailor the experience, right? And you can do it without making 3 different versions of your page. Right here in the inspector, you've got these little device toggles. Just click to show or hide any widget on desktop, tablet, or mobile. It's such a clean and efficient way to make sure your site looks perfect on every single screen. All right, let's zoom out a bit and talk about some big system-wide changes. We're going to look at 2 super powerful features, swapping out entire themes in a click and using design tokens to change the look and feel of your whole site instantly. Okay, this is a huge one for power users. Switching a theme is completely non-destructive. None of your content gets lost. The process is so simple. Click the theme name, pick a new one, hit confirm, and the builder handles the rest. Your widgets don't just stay put, they're intelligently moved into the new theme's layout. It's awesome. So you're probably wondering, how does it do that without messing everything up? Well, the logic is actually really smart. First, it tries to find an exact match for the slot names. So page goes to page, footer goes to footer. Easy enough, right? But what if the new theme doesn't have, say, a sidebar slot? No problem. The widget doesn't just disappear. It gets safely moved into the very first available slot in the new theme, so you never ever lose your content. And for styling, check out the Tokens tab. This is basically your brand's central command. Think of it like a settings panel for your entire theme's design. So instead of messing around with CSS, you can just change your primary color, your main font, or your spacing right here. The best part? The whole page updates live, in real time. It makes doing a site-wide rebrand or just testing out a new look ridiculously fast. Okay, next section. Because let's be real, a great page design shouldn't be a one-time thing. We're moving from just building pages to actually scaling up our workflow. And to do that efficiently, you have to master portability. We're talking about making your work reusable so you can save a ton of time down the road. And the key to all of this portability stuff is something called the JSON manifest. Now, don't let the name scare you. It's just a text file. But it's not just a backup. It's the complete, detailed blueprint of your entire page. I mean, everything. The theme you're using, every single widget, its position, its properties, even the style tokens you've changed. It packs the whole shebang into one file you can take anywhere.
And here's what that looks like. It's a super simple two-step process. You export that JSON file from one site, and then you import it into another. The builder just reads that blueprint and rebuilds the page exactly as it was. Now, there is one small catch. The new site has to have the same theme and widgets installed. But as long as it does, it's a perfect copy. Now, this is a really important distinction to make. Exporting a page is different from saving it as a template. Think of it like this. Exporting gives you a file you can take with you. It's for moving pages between different websites or just making a backup. Saving as a template, on the other hand, saves the design right here on this site's database. It's for reusing that layout to create new pages here. So one is about portability, the other is about internal efficiency.
All right, last section, the publishing workflow. We're going to quickly cover how autosave and the whole publish process works, because honestly, understanding this will give you so much more confidence that your work is always safe and sound.
So the autosave feature is pretty smart. Instead of hammering the server every single time you type a letter, it uses what's called a debounce timer. Basically, it just waits for you to stop typing for 3 seconds. Once you pause, then it bundles up all your recent changes and sends them to the server in one go. It's way more efficient, and it's what keeps the whole interface feeling so fast and responsive.
And you've probably noticed the publish button changes a lot. That's on purpose. It's your status indicator, giving you constant feedback. It'll change to save when you have unsaved work. It'll show saving while it's working. You'll get a little check mark when it's saved, and then finally published when it's live. So it's just a quick glance, you know exactly where you stand.
So there you have it. We've gone through the architecture, the controls, the styling, and the workflow, and it all leads to this one big strategic question. When do you start with a completely blank page for total creative freedom, and when do you use a template to get a massive head start? You know, there's no one-size-fits-all answer. But now, with this deep understanding of how it all works under the hood, you've got the knowledge to make the right call every single time.